How does the experience of meditation evolve with the practitioner? What is the evolution of the experience of meditation?
There is no such thing. We have to ask for him. Who's buying such a thing? Who cares about such a thing? Who's gauging such a thing? Who cares, really, about self-transcending anything? How could they do it? How's one to do that?
When you say that Dharma is Dharma, and then also say that the Dharma here is different, what do you mean?
Well, every Dharma is different. That's why they say there are infinite Dharmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that means approach. Doesn't mean there's any difference in the reality of the realization of what could be considered highest in any Dhamma. That pretty much is the same as zero. The Dhamma is as high as zero. Because ultimately what is ultimate is nothing. Nothing.
And do you find that outside of the trend that musicians show up, which is understandable that musicians would show up here because of the strong sound presence in music, is there any other trait that seems to run through the practitioners here?
Besides the obsession with music and culture?
Yeah.
That's enough. It's all wood for the fire. It doesn't matter what your comment is. It's all wood for the fire. All of it has to be burned. It's what a lot of people who, let's say, are beginners in, let's say, the search or quest for the Dharma, they don't realize they're showing up to actually do some work. They're going to have to do what it is. Right? And not go there thinking they can get something for nothing. Well, Dharma reflects whatever the Dharma is. I'm not defining that at this point. Whatever it is, what you need to take care of, what you need to do, what you need to accomplish, and what you need to be responsible for in your own case. What is your Dharma? See? What is the Dharma to you? Might be what the Dharma is, and it might be what the Dharma isn't.
Is there a functional difference between having a sound practice and having a sort of image or idea practice?
Depends on how you want to use either one. Yeah. See, for the musicians, music, sound can be a deeper practice or a superficial practice, as it is in the world. And for any practitioner, for that matter. Yeah. The same with the visual. Can be used for going beyond the visual or being stuck in the visual. And then we have to say it depends on who's using it for who receives it.
So seekerness and trying to get an answer to a question, trying to find a form of realization that way is, it seems like it's a process that...
Are you saying that seekerness means trying to find a realization of something?
Well, it seems like that's what we assume it is as practitioners for quite a while. I mean, we have questions about the Dharma, we have questions about ourselves, we have questions about what we should or shouldn't be doing. We find a teacher that we hope can help us clarify our situations, our lives, relieve us of some of our karma, or help us.
So
figure out how
seekers
to
are
do that.
finders. Seekers are finders. Right, okay, so...
Yeah, and then there are statements out there, like, for example, Paul Twitchell's comment about how being a seeker can be like looking for a needle in a haystack, and afterwards finding the needle in your lapel, and realizing that your having looked through the haystack was neither here nor there.
True. Could be that. But who knows? Who knows? Often people realize they have these moments in their practice where they just wake up. They just wake up. Yeah. And that's what they're being set up for. Every moment of your life is part of the setup for waking up beyond yourself completely. Right. Right. Wake up.
So the tradition of Eckankar seems to be one where soul travel or projection is used to explore some of the outer realms. So, one is exploring these things while, not experientially being in the body. And I don't know of too many other traditions that put that much weight on that type of projection as a means of practice. Can you comment on the usefulness of being able to project in that way, or whether or not it is central to, or how does that function? And does it function across many different practices?
How does what function?
Say projecting, and projecting into places.
That's the mind. The projection is the mind. We are projecting all the time. But you may not all the time have a sense of abandoning or leaving your body proper. Right? Physical body. It could be useful to some. It could be mechanical to some. It could be intuitive to some. It could be conscious to some. It may be impossible to some. Then we're talking about who. See, so there are those who feel it is in the outer worlds, and then there are those who feel it's in the inner worlds. You take a statement like Jesus, the kingdom of God is within you, not without you. It's not outside of you. It's not the universe. There's no outside. See? And when we get to the Dharma, we realize that there's no outside and no inside. Well, then what? When there's no body, no outside, no inside, then what about your research, as far as that goes? And when we rest or abide in the basic fundamental understanding that there is no body, there's just the universe, is the heart, is the universe, that might be a different kind of experiencing of the total, the all, or yourself, that's it, or the world.
Can you comment on inner master? The concept of an inner master?
Right, inner mastery, inner mastership. Yeah, you can see each one of us has a mind that is connected with this circuit, the spiritual circuit. And you can, depending on your nature and your openness is key to higher realization, regardless of the school or arriving at a God experience, regardless of your, let's say, karma. Yeah. Sometimes it appears to come from above or outside, and it descends, but it's really just circular. Because we are that. Without that, we wouldn't be living as anything. So the spiritual is crucial to your existence, right? And your perception of the spiritual can be contingent upon your understanding of the spiritual in certain terms. Okay. See, the natives, I'm just going to use the example of native Indians, have a fundamental understanding of the spiritual and seeing spirits, communicating with spirits in some cases, and seeing, let's say, higher beings is pretty natural to them. They don't make a big deal about it. And as many claim, which is the experience of people who are not quite natives, but open, you have alien interaction with humans, Earth and other planets. It's happening at that level, then it can be happening at the source, on the inside. It depends on your programming. You can be afraid of one or the other, aliens or masters. You can be afraid, not concerned, or maybe overwhelmed by the idea that masters or these spirits are encountering you in their way for a certain purpose, or maybe, who knows, destiny, perhaps. So we are wired, as Jesus said, the kingdom is within. That means the source of all the circuitry relative to the universe is inside you. The Buddhists call it mind. Awareness. Awareness itself is already capable of all of that. Inside, outside, in between, up, down, this way, that way. It's all in us. We are all of it and nothing in particular. So then nothing becomes useful. Because we are nothing in particular because we are, at heart essence, the total. Essence, heart essence. Neither in nor out. Everywhere and nowhere simultaneously.
What is the knowing of that? What is the experience of knowing that compared to the sort of more common experience?
You know what that is. Your question is your answer. If you're spiritually evolving, it's natural to feel that what it is with you. That you are. You're not necessarily a creator of it particularly, but you could also perceive that you're creating what's going on. Co-creating. Co-creating your body and sustaining it, even unconsciously. You're taking care of business because it's your job to mind the ship, mind the store, mind your life, and such. Well, you do it. It's not a big deal. It's something that you have no choice but to do it. It is what it is. If you don't, who's going to do it? So the issue then is, well, what are the Dharmas saying? The Dharmas is saying that you are Buddha nature, you are Christ consciousness. You are the spirit, soul, source of your existence. Already the potential is there. What are they saying? What does that mean? It doesn't mean you can't know it. Doesn't mean you have to ask for it necessarily or seek it. It's already the case. Everyone who's found what they were seeking said that it was already there. It was always present. Right? Interesting. It was present. Nothing changed. Nothing happened. In my experiences, this is like personal projection, right? With the masters, teachers. In the beginning, it was when I was in the military, and I had these visions of Yogananda and other masters showing up. I didn't create that. I didn't even know who they were. How is that? Something's going on there. There has to be something else going on besides self-thought and seeking. That means we can be born into a circuit already, which is determined already, but we don't know that in the beginning. So you have all of these so-called deja vus through certain people's lifetimes that say, wow, I already knew this, I was already here. Well, this is like old hat or familiar. Maybe there's no real answer to that, but we are timeless, we are time beings. And as I've said, we are time beings in space bodies. And if we can carry the word concept space to consciousness, then we're talking about the potential of unconsciousness, no consciousness, consciousness, self-consciousness, and then superconsciousness, transcendent consciousness, beyond consciousness. So we are all of that. We're born that. Yeah? Doesn't mean we are destined to exploit that, develop that, master it, or realize it, or transcend it. It doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so when we're talking about masters, every master, it seems that of the people I have come in contact with through various traditions, they had teachers. So it's like master, student, ad infinitum. And Jesus, the great master, right? Son of the God, as called, right? Was always making comments, it seems, so we hear about the Father and going back to heaven to see the Father and be with the Father on the right-hand side of the Father or whatever it was, right? Somewhere else. But yet the kingdom is within. But yet he couldn't wait to get out of the show and up wherever the up meant, see? Heavenly. So sometimes these great teachers don't always make it easy for students to understand what they're talking about or what it really is, because no one really knows what it is until you experience it for yourself. Then you have the term self-realization. Means you're open to experiencing what it is for you. So self-realization is the key. Self-transcending self-realization is a better combination of words. Mm-hmm.
Could the insistence on questions and answers be the struggle of self to preserve itself?
Could be, and why not? Mm-hmm. And the opposite could be the case as well. Maybe it's both. The struggle and the solution. Mm-hmm. But who are you if you have a question and you can't ask it? What are you? True to yourself, true to the question, or true to something else? What is it? Mm-hmm. So they're real questions. They're mechanical questions. They're profound questions. Mm-hmm. That are not really answers as such, but they may be more than an answer. Mm-hmm. Or just an answer. Mm-hmm. Every Dharma that we've ever known and will probably ever know in the future was created in response to the question. Who knows this? Is anyone who knows this? Does anyone ever find it for sure? Even if you hear an answer, is that the real answer for the individual? Every teaching shows up as all these solutions and answers. But are they for real? And yet self-realization is the key. Self-transcended realization is the key. So it's not self-limited limitation. More or less subject to the laws of karma, cause and effect, and so on and so forth, gravity and levity. So the knower is inside. Some would call it the inner master. That means that voice, a silent voice that knows. Sometimes showing up as intuition. Sometimes showing up as a dazzling, brilliant sort of strike of lightning in a certain way. Shocking. We don't call it master. We call it, well, that's lucky thought. Say, wow, our own personal brilliance. Ego. What it is not about the ego. What it is about destiny, karma, and openness. You can hear. A lot of people hear things. They don't know. They don't call it a master. They had a hunch, right? So one person calls it master. The other says, "I had a hunch." One calls it a master, and the other says, "I had a stomach, contraction." One calls it a master, and then the others say they just know. Or one calls it a master, and they say, I had this thing, but I don't really know. But I experienced it, but I don't know, right? So they obstruct what it is in its full cycle of manifestation. Because they don't know how to deal with, let's say, the movement or the urge or the power of the spiritual coming through. The circuits are not clear to receive it properly. They don't know where it's coming from. They're unconscious, they're superconscious, conscious, or the next door neighbor. Right? Or the nightmare the next door neighbor has might be their realization. Well, come
on. Does the interpretation or the understanding of where something comes from, for example, that some piece of wisdom or some teaching or insight may come through
anywhere,
a being,
anywhere,
for example,
an animal, a tree, anywhere, the grass, sun, the elements, raindrop, flower, right? A Buddha enlightened Kasyapa with a flower, just lifted the flower and put it on, and Kasyapa went into enlightenment. Right? He went mad. He was bananas after that. Comment. So it's all and nothing.
Are there, the question of whether or not there are beings on different planes that serve different functions.
No doubt, you're a being on many planes. Everyone is. You dream, you fantasize, you imagine, right? You suffer. Past karma, plane of past karma, astral plane of past memories, and all this stuff. Physical, astral, causal, time plane, right? Lower mental, materialism, higher mental, spiritual ideas, philosophy, poetry, art, and so on. And then there's no mind, the clear. It includes everything and not interested in anything particularly. Just is open mind. Beginner's mind, open mind.